Welcome to hopefully a very quick rant as to why I feel like this game is unethical and it shouldn't have been released as a standalone game. It should have been an update to UFC 4. And it's really kind of, in a way, easy to prove that. I got a little cheat sheet here that I'm not ashamed to look at here. If we look at, let's say, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, if we look at how dramatic that game has changed over the course of time, instead of just keep coming out with a new game, you can do that. If you look at No Man's Sky and how much it's improved over the years, it is absolutely astronomical, the scale in which that game has improved over time. And last but not least, if you look at Cyberpunk 2077, 3 years, which is how long they had to go from UFC 4 to 5, which, by the way, this is my own footage that I'm just running in the background while I'm flapping my gums 100 miles an hour. In 3 years, look at what they've done with that game. Complete overhauls of stuff, just like some of these other games that I've mentioned, and this is just to name a few. Now in UFC 5, what do we have? We have slightly better graphics, submission system no longer a minigame, which I very much appreciate. I really do like the new blood damage system, the doctor stoppages, the new striking and grapple animations. But they made it sound like it was innovative. First of all, we've got practically 99% the same roster from UFC 4, which is problematic for many people. But the biggest problem is that every goddamn UFC fighter has the exact same punch, kick, everything, animations. They're all copy and paste. I mean, even a game like WWE 2K23, which is a different developer, and I get that, all the punches, the way they elbow or kick, it's all slightly different. Now, posture is different from one fighter to the next. But everybody punches the same, kicked it. Like, even in Madden, another EA game, if you look at Madden, if you look at NHL, if you look at soccer, practically every EA sports title, which this is a sport, just a bit more hardcore sport, and NBA 2K as well, even though, again, different developers, they all have it so that the football is thrown slightly different. The way you take a slap shot, the animations are slightly different. How you kick or pass the ball, well, I mean, it's called FC now, but what used to be the FIFA games, they all have those subtle things so that each player has its own individual flavor, if you will, right? Now, I get it. At least I think I do. Most of the games that I just talked about, even though they're the same parent company that is EA, the developers, the actual people working on those games aren't the same people. So like the people that made Madden, that made NHL, FC, formerly known as FIFA, and this one, and let's say even Need for Speed or any other EA game, they're not going to be the same people working on those titles. Maybe there's a few people that cross over. I don't know how all of that works. I just know that as a whole, if you're able to have those small games that I just listed, a small list of games that are able to make some absolute astronomical changes, and you're able to have other games by the same parent company developer of EA do those features that we would have liked, that's how I feel confident right now to say that this actually could have been a big update, whether it was a free update, whether it was $10, $20, whatever. But in Canadian currency for the deluxe, I spent $131. The base game is like $90. It's like $60 or $70 US. And as much as I'm having fun, I'm actually really enjoying the game. But I also haven't played UFC 4 in a while. This is the new shiny toy that came out. But a polished turd is still a turd. It looks like a nicer dump. And what makes it more disgraceful is that this got released as a standalone game. I'm not a software developer. I don't have a high school education. I'm just some random dude on the internet talking shit. But I feel so confident that as much as I am enjoying this game, this should have been a big update like we got with Cyberpunk 2077 recently, entitled 2.0 or whatever. So that's essentially all I just wanted to talk about, was just share my frustrations, but at the same time, sure, I'm enjoying the game. And I don't regret buying the game, but the main reason I don't regret buying the game is because I want to take on a small part of that responsibility of reporting back to the gaming world on my small channel for the few people that'll watch me, to just kind of share my thoughts unbiased. And I'm never going to get sponsored by any of these big companies because, well, first of all, I'm a really small pipsqueak on YouTube. Even after 5 years, I haven't really done much, even though I work really hard. But also because when things like this happen that are disgraceful, that I think where we're being taken for fools, I'm really not shy to blatantly speak out on that. So yeah, on the surface, if you've never played a UFC game and this is your first game and you're playing it, yeah, you're probably going to have fun, maybe, if you're into this kind of thing, because I'm enjoying it. But in closing, I will still say that with the shallow career mode that we have, with no changes done to the career mode, like, just, I don't know, and that's, to me, a big part of the game. Maybe the online as well. I don't do online. I don't know. They could have done so much more in 3 years, and because they haven't done that much, that's why I feel like there is no justification for selling this as a standalone title. It's not ridiculous or far-fetched to say that this literally could have been an update. Sometimes some games come out, a new game comes out, and people are like, bro, that could have been an update. And it's like, yeah, no, that could have been a 200 megabyte update. No, in some instances, it can't. But this one I feel confident with. Very much so. Like, when you pay close attention to all of those animations and how a lot of the stuff is recycled, copied, and pasted. And it's okay to reuse some of your assets, but imagine already having a half-decent foundation and not building more upon that. I mean, UFC 2 and 3 were better games. Where's the Pride mode? Where's the boxing mode? I mean, you're pushing the whole Fedor Emelianenko thing. Where's the Pride mode? You're pushing Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. Where's the true boxing mode? Now, you could say, well, you can have it so that there's no clinches and submissions. Yeah, but that's not a real boxing mode. We could have had a cool tournament or a career mode where you do Pride or a mixture. Kind of like NASCAR. They do these weird things where you can like mix like what kind of career that you want to have. So they should have had a Pride career, a boxing career, a standard UFC career, a mixture of all of them, of some of them. Like, give us options. The more options you give people, the more you're going to literally cater to practically everybody. Okay? If they would have done that and maybe found a way, because again, this is a video game. Have it so that the longevity thing, there's almost like a new game plus where you can just keep going. And maybe part of the challenge is having it so that as your longevity decreases, have it so that you can run like multiple careers, like multiple seasons, if you will. And once you're done a whole thing through the career, you go through it again. Like, it keeps going on essentially forever, unless you really dramatically took way too much head trauma and you're practically brain dead. Then yeah, maybe you only lasted 3 seasons or 4 seasons or something like that. Kind of like how universe mode in WWE 2K, it just goes on and on and on forever, right? Again, you may not think these are cool features, but adding in some features of some sort would have added a lot more longevity to the title, would have made it that much more worth it, and less likely that I would have been able to be as comfortable in stating that, you know what, this could have just been a 2 gigabyte update. Okay? I don't think I really have much else to say. Just kind of ranting, just sharing my thoughts. I'm not claiming to be an expert or be a connoisseur or whatever it's called. I'm French. Of the sport or the game as a whole. I cover too many games to really be incredibly knowledgeable on just one title, on one series. But yeah, let me know down below in the comment section for a couple of reasons what you think, because I care. And the ulterior motive of because it actually helps the algorithm to push the channel and the video at the top of the list if people are to look up anything on UFC 5, thoughts, or not really a review, kind of like just like a rant. It's more likely to show up in people's searches. And and that's it. So thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't like it. And we bend it in half and you get a Fedor Emelianenko knee to the chin. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally that would be fantastic now, wouldn't it? But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.